Hello, I'm Valen, and welcome back to Star Trek Armada 3. We're going to today be hopefully pushing through the blockade over here at Alarath. We're going to need a lot stronger of a force than I would like for that, but that shouldn't be too difficult to work with. So we're going to... Over here, the 4th fleet just completed, so we're going to take these, name them the 4th fleet. Actually, is there another capital ship being built? No, because there's a tactical sphere. Alright, so the tactical cube will get We Are the Borg to get a nice debuff all around. We'll make sure the tactical sphere has all of its stuff already. And now we'll move the 4th fleet as a group to the pirate base, where it'll join up with the 2nd fleet. We might do a bit of fixing there with the 2nd fleet. The 1st fleet is retreating back to Aglaron, just because that's going to be a much more secure location. As it is now, we've lost a lot of ships in the 1st fleet from trying to rush through. If we could get a Unimatrix at Kozai, then that might help a lot with our current problems. So I'm actually going to order up a Unicomplex constructor, not a Unimatrix. The progenitor's being researched, so that's going to take this up for a bit. Looks like we have almost all of adaptation research. We'll just research that just for the sake of having it. And we'll order up these range increases for obelisks and dodecahedrons. Granted, we won't really need them, but it's good to have it researched just for the sake of keeping research going. And we'll get these antimatter regen stuff, so that we don't have to worry as much about antimatter running out in battle. And that should be almost all of the research. The only things really left are unified transwarp, which again we don't need because of diplomacy, but I'll go ahead and order it up. And all of these upgrades, which we don't need right now, we'll get them as we need them. So the 4th fleet is coming in, 2nd fleet is doing significant damage to the pirate base. We're going to get... Let's use Adapt Armor, so that we can get some nice damage. Alright, so our assembly matrices haven't been built here yet, but that'll be worked on. And we want to make sure that our economy is still building up, so a Unicomplex over here as well, in this Metreon Nebula. If this one finishes up, then we'd be able to get an entire chain of Unicomplexes and get trade all the way down this line. And if we can then extend that all the way to here, that is a lot of income that we can get to boost our economy, because we're currently lagging behind in credit income. Our colonization, of course, isn't the best because, well, the Federation has the other system. But if we can push them out, that's not a problem anymore, so we'll try and work towards that as well. Alright, this Unicomplex constructor, we need to get it to build quickly. We don't have the time to sit around and wait for it to just until we have enough resources, because we need to have the Unicomplex built, or else this thing will die in the Metreon Nebula. We can't have that. In terms of fortification, we've got everything. Assimilation, we've got everything queued up. Adaptation is done. Negotiation is irrelevant. And, yeah. Seems like we've got just about everything we're gonna need. Alright, so we've got the resources for the Unicomplex. We will not build anything else until this Unicomplex is done. Meanwhile, I think we're gonna deal with that just fine. We'll order up the Unicomplex just as soon as possible, and we're going to need to get the upgrade so it has enough hull repair rate. We're looking at a repair rate of 14.5 or higher, which... yeah, that's probably going to be easy. We're going to have to see. So that's going to build up. And yeah, just one upgrade will do the trick. But we'll order up all of them so we get a nice credit income. It's not anything too essential, but every bit helps. We'll get nanite consumption, I guess that, since it decided to lag a bit. And our trapezoid is now full level. We're gonna get... We're gonna get harvesting device so we can get some resources with it. And... this unit complex should build fine. We'll just gather up a few resources for that. This assembly matrix is done. Send the unit complex through there. Now we're probably going to want another one to go at Pythagoras. And I'm thinking one at Sherman's planet. Then what we can do is we can loop the trade route along back here. And not have one, say, at Ayashi. So we can just have it go all the way back to Silima. And that's going to give us very large amounts of income from each other resource node that we set up. So we're going to start ordering up the extra resource nodes to get that all set up and get a nice trade route system.
By your command.
I'm sure that that's queued to be fully developed. And resource node. And resource node. And we should probably get these dilithium nodes. And no, we're not being targeted by pirates if I can help it. As soon as this pirate base is dead, I don't have to worry as much about it. Would really like to get all this stuff done before pirates even try and hit, but
station construction complete.
Gotta keep pirates off our backs though. Planetary simulator's done its job just fine. No, you don't.
Activate all alcos.
Alright. This is probably just gonna keep going up and up, so we're gonna have to watch that. We're gonna need a resource node here.
Complete. We serve the collective. Station construction complete. Additional technology acquired.
I think so.
Station construction complete.
Alright, so the unit complex is getting the upgrades now. It's better just go, but I want the pirate raid to leave so we can stop worrying about it. Actually, we can stop worrying about it. That's great. Send the bounty after me. It's not like they can't really hit me. Because the pirates, as far as I remember, don't leave their own star. So now that we've cleared out this pirate base, and we're gonna have to send a planetary simulator there, but that's not too difficult.
Negotiation is irrelevant.
There we go, it'll get there just fine. Now that we have that set up, we don't have to worry as much, because we're actually getting all the necessary, we're getting the necessary routes, and all the pirates are out of here, and it's all good. Everything is fine now. Now we're gonna need more dilithium for this research. Again, none of it is too difficult anymore. The economy is quite strong. We're first in everything for economy now. We're probably going to start needing more ships again, so if we get Drone 5, although we should probably focus on our unit complex work first. Yeah, we'll focus on unit complexes first. We want to get an infrastructure set up before we bother with all of the other stuff.
Station construction complete.
Alright. And actually, we should probably rebuild the fleet here. So let's focus on that first, since it's pretty easy. Alright, we need 4 interceptors. I think we've got all the dodecahedrons. We need 4 probes. We're going to need 2 obelisks.
We are the Borg.
And that's all of our
Additional technology
frigates. We'll get 2 spheres. I don't know if they actually went in with spheres. Who knows, really?
I am Locutus of Borg.
So we've got Locutus. We're gonna need 2 assimilators and 2 adapters.
We are the Borg.
And any moment now, we'll get 1 adapter. There we go. Everything's ordered up for the first fleet to be rebuilt.
State your intent.
Let's get this envoy and scuttle it because we won't need it. Planetary assimilator heading in. We'll send the 4th and 2nd fleet to the star, and hopefully we can keep the other factions out of here by just having defenses at the star. That should at least hold them off. We're going to want to retake all of these extractors that have been stolen from us. So we'll send a planetary assimilator around, I believe. Although it might be a scout cube.
Negotiation is irrelevant.
Yeah, we'll send planetary assimilators to the uninhabited regions,
Negotiation is irrelevant.
or the uncolonizable regions, and take back our extractors.
I am 7 of 9.
And I'll go ahead and send the 3rd fleet there, and we can wipe out this 4th order ship. Even though it's of no use, it's good to clear it out and make sure that we're all safe on that front.
Additional technology acquired.
Now, we want the other unicomplexes to be built,
State your intent.
so let's get this one. We'll place it up near the front line.
Proceed to sector.
That'll work. Alright, and we now have the pirate base, which can get a bit of civic infrastructure to avoid losing money to it.
Proceed to sector.
Our trade route is still pretty rudimentary because the first upgrade still hasn't been researched, or still hasn't been added to that starbase, the Unicomplex, that's what it's called. We'll get a Unicomplex constructor here, and we'll send it to this Cerulean Nebula, and we'll get one here. It's going to cost a bit more, but or it's going to take a bit longer to get it there than this one, since this one's just a jump out and over. Alright, 3rd fleet is heading over to wipe out someone who can't even defend themselves.
Technology acquired.
How much of the rest have we actually explored?
We are one.
You know that that has nothing on it? Yeah, we've explored everything now. I believe we've explored this, right? No, we haven't. We'll explore that as well. Just get everything explored, and maybe we'll get more artifacts out of it. I doubt we will. But there's always the possibility. We could have missed something. So our current artifact is just Iconian Power Core, so that's just antimatter bonuses. I suppose it's alright, it's just not as good as it could be. This fleet is finishing up. So we'll focus on getting the trade network set up, and then we can start looking into getting better in, getting more logistics and drone and all that stuff, and getting us more fleets out. If we start transitioning into more capital ship heavy fleets, that should help a decent amount. So over here, the 2nd
The
fleet.
collective must grow.
No, that's the 3rd. The 3rd fleet. We want the 3rd fleet. So that's 7 of 9 and an assimilation cube. They've killed off the core colony ships, so we're all good there. We'll make sure that there are no more pirates over here, and if we just wipe out pirates in individual locations, planetary assimilators can take the rest of the extractors and all that'll be good. Alright, so there's a Klingon colony ship there. Here we're taking care of what they have left, which isn't much.
Invalid objective.
That'll at least get another assembler on the field.
Negotiation is irrelevant.
And now we could actually look into getting a progenitor matrix, which would likely be useful, but we'll finish up our trade route first, since currently that's taking precedence. We need a resource node here to connect everything together. So we'll put it right there. And there we go. That's going to help our trading come a decent bit. Now the star bases will also give us tax income because they have population on them, so we're getting a lot more out of this than just trade routes and defensive capabilities. There we go, that one's queued to be fully developed.
Activate all alcos.
The first fleet has been fixed up. We'll send it to... I don't know where we'll send it. We'll send it up here.
Received.
We'll need to clear the way for it to push through and start doing a colonization rush. But that, like, none of this is difficult. It's just resources. Our fleet is considered the largest, but we don't have as many capital ships, or at least not as good capital ships. And we're heading colonization again. Strange. Culture would be something nice to just throw in because we have extra resources. So we're gonna get interlink nodes. Because the unicomplexes will help because they produce culture nodes. But if we can actually get a series of regular culture nodes, we might be able to get a full culture uplift all around here. And getting this entire system under my culture would be a very useful thing to have. There we go, we'll order up our next unicomplex. And all of these are basically not much. Fleet is at Kozai, and we've got these extra ships here that we can throw somewhere. We'll throw them at our enemies. I think that's a great idea. We'll take the Talon class and we'll tell it to explore.
You honor my house.
And then we'll take this Varanus Marauder and throw it at the other star and see what's there. We're scouting it out, figuring out if there's anything worth our time. I'm thinking we send a unit complex with us to set up a front line that might be able to hold off enemies a bit better than just the fleet. So we're gonna want a unicomplex constructor there as well, but that can wait a bit. A lot of this can wait a bit. And now we're getting our last unicomplex to link up the entire trade network. This one is going to work on the upgrade once it's fully built. This one... I just need to get some more resources to actually afford the research, or the upgrades. Not research anymore. I've already got the research. And there we go. And that will put a trade route from this planet all the way up to here. We could get another one here, and possibly even another one... Oh. We could loop it around through here, past there, and can we put anything here? We can put one thing here. If we put a resource node here, a unicomplex here, and a unicomplex here, that's about the longest we can get it without having it link back up and shorten how it goes.
State your intent.
And
I am 7 of 9.
this will be the updated third fleet with a few Nausicaan light raiders added in. We'll send them to the pirate
primary
base.
objective is of utmost importance.
Okay,
On
so
my way.
I guess we get more tax income because pirates. Interesting. Alright. So this is the trade node we're waiting on now. And then we'll wait on this one, and that'll give us the largest chunk of stuff that we're gonna need. If we order up another unicomplex constructor, and we'll make the last one here so it just goes straight there. And that's gonna give us all the way through there. Nothing here, but we can set up a resource node this planet just because we can. It'll give us money, and it doesn't interrupt the link. So we'll have that, and then we'll go through here, down there, and up through there. I suppose as long as we don't have one here, we can have one here as well. And that would actually be longer. Let's, well, we already have a trade node here. Let's have this one ready to pass over to the other star. Because this is going to be a longer route than that. We could probably stand to just fill in ones that are going to be extraneous and not really shorten any routes, but I'm thinking if we keep that one ready there, we can focus on dealing with longer routes later. The shorter routes, I mean, we want to deal with the shorter routes, not the longer ones. We want longer ones. Alright. We're still limited on this point. That's not going to be for long. If we get resource nodes ordered up and start getting more resource asteroids established. So all around we're getting a decent amount of income now, which is quite good. And we're getting more extractors, which is putting us far more ahead of our opponents.
Additional technology acquired.
And
The collective must grow.
alright, so we want to get this fleet ready to support. Or do we want to leave these guys behind as a defensive force? That might be a good idea. What I'd like is to get the get this Unicomplex constructor over here, and I'd like to start work on the progenitor matrix. Where do we want to produce our progenitor? I'm thinking over here. It seems like a great idea. Put it right in our factory world. And do we actually have this industry spec? Let's industry spec it. And that'll get more in, it'll give us more construction speed. So that'll help quite a bit. Alright, so this Unicomplex is always just going to be complaining about damages, but it's healing up much faster than it's being damaged, so that's not much of an issue. Alright, the wormholes are clear enough, because they don't actually connect to other systems. How far is the Unicomplex trade going? Not too far. Alright, we're going to worry more about the regeneration and logistics now. Or the regeneration research. It's the same thing, really. And if we go in here, we can order up a progenitor now. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Station construction complete.
And we'll get another level of drone. And another level of logistics. Actually, we'll get full logistics now, and we'll work up drone. We should have plenty of resources to build the Unicomplex here. We've got a resource node here, right? No, just an interlink node. We'll get a resource node here.
Location invalid. Station construction complete.
And I'm not worried about pirates anymore, because they won't come after me. And if they do, they're gonna hit the worst planet they could possibly hit.
Mev,
Why is there nothing here?
give me more power.
There's just a bunch of trade ships. That's interesting. So they've settled down a lot in here. Oh, we're heading military again.
Station construction complete.
So they've settled down a lot in that area. And if we jump in here, there's probably going to be, yeah, all those ships, but no, they just have a bunch of defenses. I could take advantage of this.
We serve the collective.
So, slight change of plans.
State new.
We're going now.
We are
The first fleet will follow behind. We're going to try and get the progenitor matrix up and behind as soon as possible. That, of course, relies on the progenitor matrix being completed first, and then the progenitor being built. But all of that won't take too long. So we've got that queued up. We're going to get the Unicomplex here, just to link up the trade network a bit more. We're still waiting on this one to get research. Although that's almost done. And this one's approaching about the same stage that everything else was at. These extractors are done. They're all ours now. So we'll actually get this one to go over here to Sherman's planet. There we go, this Unicomplex is up. All the upgrades are being researched for it. 3rd and 4th Fleet are moving into position. It could take a while, but that's fine.
Negotiation is irrelevant.
2nd No, second fleet is going. Third fleet... I want the third fleet to... Yeah, I'll get the third fleet to move in here and ensure that we have a good defense in case they decide to jump in after us. Progenitor matrix is done, which means the progenitor is now being produced. Correct? Correct.
Proceed to sector.
I think this will do the trick. So the first fleet will probably jump in afterwards, but it will do the colonizing. What do we know about this place? Decent number of ships. We don't know much about there. Although I'm guessing they have a starbase there, since they've had that for a while. All of these other it seems like their colonizing fleets have pulled out. It's great news for us. So we're going to try and take what we can. I'm thinking we push through these three first and provide a base of operations there. Perhaps send a fleet to the pirate base afterwards, so we're secure from pirates again. And then we'll push pirates on them constantly, because we'll also be taking a decent chunk out of their resources. Alright, so there are their ships. And they may be jumping after us. Although this should get their attention. Tactical cube will get...
Activate all outposts.
We'll get more... We are the Borg and more exterminate. So... And they're jumping somewhere.
Negotiation is irrelevant.
And it's to Orige. Alright. Are we ready for this? I think so. Third fleet, we want to hold there. The progenitor is about halfway done. This is going to go quite well for us. And there we go, our trade network is now quite long and giving us quite a bit of money.
We are the Borg.
Alright. 1 and 2. No, we want 3 and 4 to focus down there. Although the first fleet is dealing some nice damage. Let's make sure Voyager doesn't get through. Second and fourth, we want to make sure the second is off of hold position now. And with a bit more, we'll be able to clear all this out and hopefully push through and deal with most of these problems. Yeah, they're jumping in a lot.
We are the Borg.
Third fleet, I want to hold near there, although they're gonna try and go around. How's the progenitor doing? We can punish them for going here. And that seems like the best thing we could do right now, so let's make sure they don't even consider it. We'll send the
collective must grow.
We'll send the fourth fleet back.
Initiating new directive.
Second and first, this is your operation now.
We will adapt.
They'll go through there. Do we have our unicomplex in position? We get it there.
Activate all
yes.
outposts.
Alright, send that through. I think we can secure this star, because they're too busy with the prospect of attacking us. We have a lot of resources now, so let's give them a nasty little surprise. I'm thinking another combat fleet. A much heavier combat fleet. Full logistics is coming in. So this is we're going to start running into the problem that we don't have enough to just fill in capital ships. We don't have enough supply. Although we're going to get a decent amount more. Which should give us enough to at least get a few more capital ships.
Activate all outposts.
Alright. That one's ours now. There's a few more to get. So we're going to actually just build another 2 capital ship fleet, and we're gonna fill it in with cruisers again. And there we go. They're gonna regret ever attacking us. It looks like they're trying to pull out. Although that just might be the really weird way that it has them fight.
I am the cutest of Borg.
First fleet is
Standing by.
striking,
State new directive.
and second fleet is helping, and all that stuff. And because
Resistance
they're
is
using
futile.
a lot of fighters here, we have dodecahedrons that can easily deal with them. Yeah, I'd say we're about to secure a very nice planet.
Acknowledge, Starfleet.
State
Third fleet,
objective.
how are you holding up? We'll get a shield bearing torpedo, sure. I think third fleet's taking some losses, but I could be wrong. Yeah, there's at least one pyramid gone. But that seems all. Third and fourth fleet are
We
just
are
fine. And the Federation is fleeing, because they can't hold this long enough. How's our Unicomplex Constructor going? There's an Excelsior warping away. Alright.
By your command.
Yeah,
Negotiation is
they
relevant.
made an error, and they've lost a lot more than they realize because of it.
Negotiation is irrelevant.
Oh, isn't...
Battle stations.
I thought the Challenger class was the Envoy. No, it's the Sarek class or something. Most of your defense structures are just dying. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried anymore. So, yeah, I guess we completely defeated their defenses by making them think that they had an advantage. Okay.
Negotiation is irrelevant.
We know what we're fighting now. We've basically won this star system. There's not much they can do against it.
Standing by.
Let's set up the Unicomplex to make sure. So we've just got to take down that planet, and then we've got a starting location. We can push to Valeria, and then everything will just collapse because we're much more powerful than them. So this planet is ours, or this star system is ours. We've won the majority of the map.
Negotiation is irrelevant.
The only problem now
State objective.
is that
Relocate to grid.
they have a very large fleet sitting at Albalon. Sure, they've probably moved now, but this is going to be a problem. But we'll deal with that next time. That's all. Remember, if you liked it, remember to like and subscribe, and goodbye.